Gotta wonder what the color difference is between these two. Maybe I can already guess where their weaknesses are gonna be. So I'm already sort of thinking of like what game I want to do after this. I've gotten two category requests, and that is an RPG or a platformer. An RPG. Well, I'm sort of weirded out by now calling them RPGs because I know that because I've been sort of encouraged to, well, I just watch a series where they tell me, where they say, all right, maybe we should try to like organize game RPGs less by how they outwardly, less by how they play, and more by like the engagement. Yeah. Alright. And the thing about the sort of categories by the, what was it, the aesthetics of play, I think, was that you sort of organize games not by what you, not by a lot of the external mechanics, but more by the, more by what the audience gets out of it, as in a narrative game, a game with a story focus, you know, pretty much every Final Fantasy, Spec Ops: The Line, challenge game, which they defined as basically game as obstacle course. You know, a lot of these games, a lot of really old games could only do that. Alright, as I expected. What was another one? Sense pleasure. That's sort of the idea that you play a game for visuals or audio. They kind of said it was like, oh, only. Like, their examples were like Rez. And I was like, well, what about a game that's that you just like the way it looks? Like, I would argue that the reason Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is one of the most popular games to watch in the fighting game community is because it is super visually vibrant. You know, a lot of times you literally cannot tell what is going on because it is really, really visually vibrant, and I actually quite like a lot of the music. Shit. Fuck. Frickin' night, holy man, I'm getting so much blood. I am totally gonna hit the cap on this next one. Alright, let's see. Have I gotten everything ever? Yeah! Alright, pretty much, I've gotten everything. Everything, I just need to go up there. What was some other ones? Fellowship? Fellowship was an oh, Jesus! No, no. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Holy crap. That was close. Fellowship was the idea that you play games to, like, get sort of closer with other people, with cooperation. An example they brought up was like, it's a lot of co-op games where you can bond with people by playing along with them. So most co-op games are games where you and your compatriot can grow together, like multiplayer-based RPGs, like probably the biggest one being World of Warcraft. Of course, assuming you have people who'll play World of Warcraft with you, or like, who knows, friends you'll make on World of Warcraft probably. I've never played World of Warcraft. If I know I'm gonna get addicted to something, I prefer not to be exposed to it. Let's see, what was another one? They said that an unofficial one in the original theory paper was, what was it? Competition. Like, this one I know for a fucking fact is category. It's like, people love to play stuff in real life against each other. It's a sense of a domination, if you will. Actually, no, that was the category name they gave it. Domination. The idea that we want to express our will over somebody else, and it's the idea of, hey, you beat him in a game. That's the one way of doing it, sir. And I've been playing quite a lot of those. Although it sounds weird to say domination game. But it sounds like some weird fetish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna get rid of this guy's waiver. Yeah, alright, he's at level 5. Level up. Let's see. What was another one? Actually, they actually encourage people, yeah, try to find your own categories. So it's like, what do you, what do you really seek in games?
Shit. Fuck it.
Oh yeah, another one was abnegation. That one is another term.
Yeah.
Abnegation is more the idea that you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again, just something that's easy to do and will guarantee progress. That will guarantee some level of progress. You know, you see this in level grinding. A lot of times it's something where you can have a very low barrier, and it's not necessarily that that's the main appeal. It's that that's part of the experience, and that's a way of like improving whatever self your avatar may ultimately represent. Like, I don't know, an example they use is like, apparently in a Facebook version of Bejeweled, you can actually, you can have endless mode and like increase your like Facebook score or whatever, or like on your profile. And that's kind of a good example of it, where you're kind of mindless and it's the idea that it's easy to do and you just don't want to put that much effort into it. The example they use is you ever go home and you just put on like a really crap show that you knew was crap, but you just watched it because you didn't really have any energy to put into like putting on something that's really challenging for you. That's sort of the appeal. And by the way, that reminds me, I actually tried playing Final Fantasy VII a few months ago, and like, I kind of realized the reason I didn't really like playing that game. And that was because, like, I've heard people say that a problem in current games is that you get tossed from set piece to set piece, and the fact that all that you're basically just like given a visual backdrop to what you do, and then you're expected to work around that. Oh, it could be from any of them? Oh, wait, or was it just because I did the second bullet? And I kind of felt that way when I was playing Final Fantasy VII. Like, I was like, I'm just being tossed from one section to another. I don't really feel like I have the room to explore, because every time I try to explore, they just immediately shove me into one area. And the times I've tried to explore, I end up getting insta-killed. Could have sworn I heard something.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, that lack of waiver is actually quite nice.
Fuck you.
Huh? That alley. Alright. Jesus. Of course, keep in mind, like, any little individual theory I have on game design, I am not a professional game designer. I have not gone to school for professional game designers. I just kind of, as I said before, I'm kind of just pondering a lot. And what the fuck? See. What were some other forms of engagement? I'm trying to remember them. So I assume Iwazaru was just right there. Yep. Wait, how did he take the portrait? I had to blow that wall down to get in there. Well, it is quite nice. Let's see, obstacle course. Like, I know they call it challenge. I call it obstacle course.